Hello guys, this is Jonathan Steadman, and today guys I want to give you reasons why I'm using Fedora now. So Fedora is a very good system, and it uses a GNOME desktop environment, and I actually grew to love GNOME 40 now. We can do that. We can basically do it for once. There's there's some workspaces over here. We can search for stuff and so on. So one of the advantages of using Fedora is that all the softwares, everything on there, such as the desktop environment, all the softwares, all the games, is always up to date. And this is an advantage to people who want to basically to run the latest softwares. It also comes with a disadvantage as well, because if there's newer softwares, then that could lead to bugs. And when there's bugs, then that's not good, and people will have a worse experience. But I didn't find really much bugs in this system. Maybe a few, but not a lot. And I think that Fedora is a very good project by a very big community. It's from the Red Hat community, by the way. So people who created Red Hat is underneath this. They are the sponsors, in fact. Red Hat is basically a free and open source software developers, basically. They make softwares for Linux. So this is Fedora, which is a Linux distribution created by the community. So yeah, we can download it from here. We can just download for workstation if we wanted to. There, I also support Cinnamon, XFCE, and I don't know what the other one is, but I do definitely know they support these two. So we can definitely install different types of desktop environments in this OS. But I like to use the default. And yeah, as you guys can see, I did a little bit of customizations. Now we can maximize it and minimize it through these buttons. I don't see a point of having these disappeared with only for X, because it makes it a little bit more confusing. So that's why I like having these two buttons. It just makes things a lot more easier, in my opinion. So I had to install GNOME tweaks, which is basically can be installed with a software manager over here, which is GNOME. The other advantage of using this software, this operating system, is that everything you get is open source, and of repositories and everything by default is open source, and that is an advantage because Linux is all about open source, and we don't want to use priority, otherwise we'd be using Windows, which is terrible. But yeah guys, you can basically run as much open source product as you want. By default they don't support priority softwares, but we can always enable that and install something like Steam, or we can install Microsoft Teams if you need that for college, or we can just basically install anything that's not open source onto the system. I mean, I didn't really have any big issues with it apart from when it came to installing Steam, but I was able to do it successfully. So this is Steam. I'm not going to open it because I don't want anyone to see my data on there, but you guys will be able to install Steam. And also Fedora has a very good forums out there, such as if we go to Ask Fedora, then we will see very good forums on there, and this is where people can get help on. And this is why it is great, because you can always ask for help if there's any issues, such as that, for example, get a kernel panic at boot up. They will be able to help you if you give them enough information. So yeah, I think that GNOME is a very good desktop environment because it's very customizable, in my opinion. We can go for many themes there is. We can choose whatever mouse pointer we want, such as this one. I'm using this one from Linux Mint. When I had it last, I stopped using Linux Mint just because it was just getting boring, and it was a little bit too easy for me. So I wanted to go for something a little bit more advanced, which was Fedora. So Fedora is not really meant for beginners. It was made for people in the middle or advanced and beginners. And the reason for that is obviously because it's a lot more harder to learn. And actually, I think that anyone could install Fedora. I just think when you get installed, you might get a little bit into issues, such as we had to install priority repositories, and this can be a bit annoying to new users. So yeah, I would say that Fedora is for not advanced users, but somebody in the middle. It's like OpenSUSE basically. A little bit in the middle. Okay guys, so the other advantage of using Fedora is that because it has a very nice interface, and all the desktop environments that it comes with are not customized at all. So such as Ubuntu, which is customized, isn't it? So if you don't like the way that Ubuntu looks, then we can always install Fedora and then make our own theme if we wanted to, or download themes from GNOME blocks. And this is how Ubuntu looks by default, which is customized. But if we want to use a non-customized version, then Fedora is great for you. And now I'm going to talk about why I use Fedora, and it's because it has all the developers tool that is needed. It was actually made for developers, as you guys will see from their website. If you go to Fedora, it will say to you that Fedora, that is great for software developers, and it has all the tools that is needed. So we can go down, welcome to Fedora, and now if we go to learn more, it should tell them more about it. Great for developers, it's reliable, user-friendly, a powerful operating system, and it has sleek user interface with GNOME 40, and it has complete open source toolbar, and you also can have visualization with GNOME boxes, which we will have a look at in the next episode. Because I really want to show you guys what is GNOME boxes all about, and yeah, if we can download it from any distro that I want, GNOME boxes, maybe boxes instead. So they have GNOME boxes on here, which will allow to do any virtualizations, so it can run basically anything in there if we want. It's mostly used for GNOME OS, which is basically not an Linux distribution at all. It's just made to test out GNOME. But if I want to add a distribution, I have to go here, and then I can go from file for one that we downloaded, or we can go for Red Hat, we can go for any of these OS, or even in fact we can go and download one if we wanted to. So these are for ones that we can download. You can install Manjaro. So these are images that we can download from the network. We can even install Debian if we want to the network. They can even install FreeDOS. This is pretty epic. CentOS, and there's so many we can do in here, but we will talk more about this in the next episode. So yeah, they have many editions of this. They have it on servers, so guys can go over here. They have this version on servers, and it's very stable on servers, and I would prefer this over Ubuntu servers in my honest opinion. And there's also support Fedora a lot, which is pretty good. And these are for different types of editions that we can install, such as CoreOS. We can install Silverblue, which I'm not too sure. I've never heard of these two before. Fedora Silverblue. This release will include some exciting improvements such as GNOME 40. Yep. Okay, so I see. Yeah. Don't quite understand what this is. Well, I was still at Fedora, but you guys can tell me in the comments if you wanted to. And there's also Fedora magazine, where I get the latest updates about it and people reviews about it and stuff like that, people's stories about it. And there's some Fedora spins, so if we want to use a different alternative desktop environment, we talked a bit about this, but they have any desktop environments that we can install. They also have OS downloads, so we can go here if we wanted to. I do want to say to you guys that this is a rolling release distribution. That means that everything that is here is all brand new, and then it will end support very soon. And I think they're going to get 9 months of support with each version you'll get. So go to Fedora. How long is the support? And it's not long at all. We're always going to get updates. 13 months of support we'll get. And yeah, we'll only get 13 months of support, or do I have to upgrade again? So I would recommend this system to anyone who's a little bit more advanced with Linux. That means you understand how to use a terminal. So the basics of a terminal at least, and have some experience in using a Linux distribution that is based on Ubuntu. So you guys can always install it if you wanted to. It's completely free and open source, and I would highly recommend Fedora to anyone who wants to use up-to-date softwares. Anyway guys, what I will do is end this video there, and this video was just very short. Just wanted to tell you guys why I personally use Fedora, and it's mostly because I want to use up-to-date softwares, and also because I have all these developers tools on there. So yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please guys comment down below if you personally use Fedora. If you do, then you're awesome. Bye.